Okay, this is very exciting. I'm pressed for time, and I was debating whether or not to come here. It's not really out of the way, but I wasn't sure what to expect, and this is amazing. It says this earthwork, located on ground once part of the plantation of E.A. Houstoun, who was the father of Captain Patrick Houstoun, who commanded Confederate artillery at the Battle of Natural Bridge. And you can read more about that there. This was part of a fort, more or less. This is what they called forts in those days. They threw up a bunch of dirt, earthworks, breastworks. But because we have real dirt up here for the most part, these earthworks remain. I mean, this is really astonishing. I'm sure they deteriorated to some degree, but you can see the pit in front of it, which I forget there's a name for that in the fort vernacular. I'm not sure what it is, but anyway, yeah, that's all it is. You dig dirt here, you throw it up there, and you have a breastwork, a fort. And I'm sure there would have been more of these around. This is the one that exists as of this moment, as of this day, the one we know of. It's in smack dab in the middle of a square in the neighborhood. I mean, a very rather upscale, genteel-looking neighborhood. It's very interesting. I'm sure there's not a lot of people around that appreciate the fact that this exists, but they probably don't even think about it. So anyway, I'm just gonna try to give a quick walk around, more or less. That hawk is so cool. I gotta take a moment and give that hawk his due. He's been out there since the first moment I came here. I saw him fly into that perch, and he hasn't moved. Normally they would fly off. Anyway, back to history. Of course, this would have been much, much higher. This is eroded over 100 and more than 50 years. But this is just astonishing to me that this exists. An actual earthwork is I don't want to say clear evidence, but yeah, clear evidence of this event having taken place here on this ground. Now, there wasn't any battle fought here. The forces under Newton, who were attempting to attack Tallahassee, were repulsed decisively, as the sign says, by the Confederate forces at Natural Bridge in 1865, March 6th, I believe it was. Just a few weeks before Lee capitulated the forces of the Army in Northern Virginia at Appomattox on April 9th, which of course is what most historians point to as the quote-unquote end of the war. Of course, the military part of the Confederate forces and the Union forces did not stop for some time, and the actual war itself is more or less still going on. Oh, that hawk is so cool in the background. Okay, so we've done a whole walkthrough, and I'm just totally amazed not only by the fact that these are here, the breastworks are here. We see a lot of lumps of dirt in the ground around this part of the state, Tallahassee area. That battle, Baldwin, over by Baldwin Station. There's a battlefield over there, and they have extensive breastworks. But to see something like this with the pit still very clearly dug, I bet a lot of kids have had a lot of fun playing on this ground over the years. Gosh, if I were a kid, this would be the coolest place to be coming and hanging out, I tell you. So we're inside of it. And again, these breastworks would have been much higher. They would have been much sharper. They would have had logs all over the top of them. There would have been cutouts for cannon. And there's a name for that too, and I forget. I'm going to say abatis, that's not correct, but There's a whole system of jargon and vernacular to describe the openings for cannon. And that may have been one there, but I doubt it. I sense that's more something that was developed over the years. But anyway, this is just astonishing. I'm very glad I stopped from a Florida history standpoint and from an overall Civil War standpoint. It's just incredible.